Hey everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome to another video on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. I've got a few things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the season preview event that was held a few nights ago, and I also want to spend some time talking about the St Kilda Community Series match that we have on Thursday evening, tomorrow night. Let's start with the season preview event. So it was great to be amongst people again at a Carlton function. Basically, this was the first function that we've had since the pandemic that fans can be at. It was a night for the player sponsors to have a three-course meal, sit with their player that they're sponsoring, and hear from some of the high rollers at the football club, the president, the captains, our new recruits, and some other guest speakers as well. And it was a really good night. I must say the energy in the room was fantastic. It was the first of these type of events that I've ever been to. I've been to the 2019 Best and Fairest, and I must say there's nothing like the season preview event. The players were very approachable. In actual fact, they were probably more approaching the fans more than the fans approaching them. I think it was twofold. On the one hand, they haven't seen fans in so long. We haven't been able to be in that proximity with them, and there was a genuine want from the players that I noticed to thank the fans and just from the club as well. And it was intimate, it was warm, and obviously, as you can see, we are sponsoring Corey Durden this year at the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. Got a cool player sponsor scarf, as you can see here, with the number 29 on that. So I'll be rocking that this year. I'm pretty excited about that. Those are some of the perks that come with sponsoring Corey. Got to sit next to him, meet him. He's a fantastic young fella. He's a first-year draftee, and one thing I'm very, very impressed, and I want to pass the message on to you guys, is how much I can vouch for his maturity. He's very settled. He wants to be in Melbourne. He made a comment about how if you want to play footy, this is where you want to be. He understands the situation that he's come into. He's confident in his ability. He knows that there's a spot there for him if he works hard for it. And I can just only vouch for him as a judge of character. I'm just stoked to be able to be on the journey with him from the moment he was drafted to the day he leaves the Carlton Football Club. Hopefully as a retired multiple premiership player. But no, he's a ripper. Spoke to quite a few others as well. Just some bits and pieces of information that I wanted to pass on. Of all the players that I spoke to and interacted with, I must say there is a new vibe around the players. There was a sense of ownership around the players and the way that they interacted with the fans, the way they spoke about the year ahead. They're not boys anymore. They're not timid little boys anymore. They're starting to develop their brains. They're starting to think about things. They understand the gravity of the situation that they're in, the club that they play for, and that was evident throughout the entire night, not just from the players, but also Teague, the way he spoke. There was a panel of all the coaches up on stage, and they were talking about the year ahead. And to be honest with you, when they got up, I was kind of expecting, the generic phrases to come out. But Teague made mention of the fact that over the last few years, there's always been that point in the season where we say, oh, here we go again, the classic Carlton fall away or whatever. And he was saying, I just can't wait for the fans to say, oh, here we go again, as in, the success is coming. And he's basically reiterating how hard they're working. We hear it all the time, even in mainstream media, but how hard they're working, and he's excited for us fans to be at the games and actually see how they apply themselves now. And there seems to be this notion of a mindset shift, and I've seen these themes come up throughout various interviews, whether it's Cripps, who did an interview on the Dill Buckley podcast, Dill and Friends, even when he talked about Charlie Curnow about a month ago now, about the shift in mentality. And I can feel it. I really can. These boys are not boys anymore. They're young men. They really are. They're entering that sweet spot of their careers. And I left that event with a different perspective and a renewed sense of confidence about where we're going as a football club. When you remember how far we've come, even if you look not that far away, 2018, absolute basket case on field. And you look at the list now, there aren't too many holes. You don't really... I don't think there's going to be too many weeks this year where we show up with the 22 and we say, oh, he's playing... we're going to have to carry him today. So I'm excited for that. I wanted to pass on what I saw at the event. And I also wanted to thank you guys. There was a moment throughout the night where the Blue Abroad logo's up on the projector and next to Corey's name, and when I saw it, I just took a moment to just realize the gravity of what has happened over the journey of this channel over the the 3 years. And I remember the very first episode I recorded on the audio podcast. I was sitting in one of those phone booths. I used to work in a co-working space, and I snuck out and recorded the first episode of the Blue Abroad podcast in this little phone booth where we would take work calls. And to see where that's come to today, and being able to fund a player, to fund the opportunity to sponsor a player through revenue that's earned on the channel, it's blown my mind. It really has. So I wanted to take this chance to thank you all once again. Those of you who watch the videos, those of you who have donated to the channel, those of you who are paid members of the channel. Honestly, I couldn't thank you more from the bottom of my heart, and I can't wait to make this channel even better and continue on the trend. We're not quite the best team on field in the AFL just yet, but I vowed to be the best fan channel. I have the best fan channel in the league. So that's my vow to you guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting more of you who haven't joined the community just yet. Those of you who are already here, it would be greatly appreciated if you tell a friend about the channel, share something with them, share something that they would enjoy, and let's grow this community a bit more. So thank you once again, and we will move on to the preview against St Kilda. Now, I don't know about you guys. I'm looking at this game very similar to the Essendon game. Like, the winning is always important. However, I'm looking more at game style. I'm looking at getting minutes into key players. And to be honest, it's about round one for me. And I think St Kilda is the perfect opponent to prepare for Richmond in round one, because they essentially play a similar game style. It's fast, frenetic, pressure football, and I hope that St Kilda bring that. I really want us to be tested. I want the game plan to be tested, because I remember in 2020, St Kilda had the keys to Carlton last year. They stopped the Sam Doherty situation for us. They really curtailed him. I remember Jaron Geary played a defensive forward tag on Sam Doherty, and he kicked a couple of goals early as well, which had him in Sam Doherty's head. Now, we've got some other pieces here. We've got Willow, who's going to have another elevation to his game. We've got Adam Sard, so I think that's going to be a headache for them. But I think because of how quickly the Saints move the ball and how quickly we want to move the ball, I think we're going to be exposed to some quick goals out the back. And it happened against Essendon, and I assume it's going to happen against St Kilda as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing when St Kilda do have their run, because let's be honest, you've got to give them respect. They've built their team very well. They've rebuilt very well. They've recruited very well. So they're going to have a run on, and I want the adversity. I want it to be difficult for our players on Thursday night. I want St Kilda to bring their best, and I want to see how this game style works. I want to see the forward entries improve from the Essendon game. I want to just see everything just go up another level from what we saw against the Bombers. Now, there's two schools of thought with how we go about selecting a side for this game. Some of you are in the side of on the side of the fence where it's pick your best 22, your best available, because ultimately we've only got two, matches to prepare for round one, whereas in years gone by we've had 3 or 4 preseason matches. And then there's the other end of the fence, other side of the fence, who believe that we need to get minutes into the young guys, the Stockers, the O'Briens, the Ramseys, the Honeys, the Durdens, etc. I'm more so looking at the first side of that equation. I want to see the best team available. I want to see the guys that are fighting for spots playing. I want to see the best, 26. I'm not sure how many you're allowed to pick for this game, but I want to see the best 26 available. I want to, because I do think there's probably, I believe there's probably 8 to 10 spots, 8 to 10 players for about 6 to 7 spots, and I want to see all of those 8 to 10 players playing. And I really want them to earn their game in round one. I think they even said it in the season preview event the other night. The 22 is just not ready. It's not settled. I think we might have 10 or 11 players who you lock in, and then the rest is up for debate. So I'm looking for a strong team. I'm looking for an improvement against the Essendon game. However, the most important thing is health, no injuries, and obviously how the game style is working when it's under adversity. And I think the Saints will bring that. So those are my very generic and vague thoughts. I've got a ticket for the game. I'm very grateful for that. So excited to be going to the footy again. I have a feeling it's going to be very loud. It's going to be over the top loud. I think, and I spoke to Nick from the cheer squad at the season preview event the other night, and he was saying he doesn't care, he's going to be bringing the noise. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing the boys run out again, hearing the song. I'm not sure if they'll play it beforehand, but hopefully the AFL rise to the occasion and play the song, and looking forward to it again. We've got 15 days till round 1. Hopefully everyone is ready to get their tickets sorted. I'm not sure what the situation is going to be there, but I'm very excited about that. But I do want to turn the attention to you. What are you looking for in this preview, in this preseason game? What are you looking for in this community game? I want to know the strategy. Are you wanting to play Harry? I know he has the rolled ankle, but do you want to play him to get the minutes under his belt? Do you want to play the best available team, or do you want to play the youngsters and not worry about the older guys getting minutes into their legs? Are you confident that Cripps has had enough game time now to be ready for round 1, and the Dohertys and the Murphys and the like? Let me know your thoughts. I want to see where your mentality is at for this game. And as always, go the Mighty Blues.